The second phase of the MCU has started now. I'm gonna do this quick because next one there's gonna be Black Panther, and I'm gonna do only review on Iron Man 3 because I want to watch One Punch Man. Just it is ridiculous, but I might review One Punch Man after I done for all of these MCU reviews and team up. So yeah, Iron Man 3 is directed by, you guys know what it is, Jon Favreau. Is it? I don't think it's Jon Favreau because I think the director is different for the Iron Man 3. But anyways, Iron Man 3 is where you got, of course, Tony Stark, who just still beat Iron Man, and there's no problem. Unless there's this villain named Mandarin who wants to take out Robert for Tony Stark. I almost said Robert Downey Jr. But anyways, he wants to take out Tony Stark because he's got jealous and some, because he uses the terrorist attack for all of these crimes factors after the set of the Avengers. Um, Tony Stark needs to find a verification to find problems with it because the terrorist has begun for a while. The War Machine, which is Don Cheadle, I think is like War Machine just became the president, became the Iron Patriot, and so does that. The Mandarin wants to take out the Tony Stark after Tony Stark just got destroyed for the building because the building is destroyed. So he needs to take more than that. He will be taking care of it, and anything of that. Tony Stark get lost with his suit, and after that, Harley just found him in the suit, and he knows that Tony Stark is Iron Man. So why not? So after all this happened, Tony Stark needs to find Mandarin and on his mission and anything like that. So I think most people hate this movie. I mean, like, not as much as Iron Man 2, but they didn't like this movie because I think Iron Man 3 is. I'm meant to say that Iron Man 3 is one of my least favorite Iron Man's movie of all time. But I think I'd rather watch Iron Man 2 than this. But I might tell you problems in that. There is not much action with Iron Man. I mean, like, no suit on with Iron Man. I mean, like, Tony Stark just always fight without his suit because sometimes he does all these suit with Mark 42 because after all of his retirement, he really needs to prove of that because portrayed these characters. I loved them, especially for Mandarin. I thought Mandarin was something and it really must identify for them. But I have one big plot question. Like, how did the villain even choose the same person? Because I thought that villain on the TV, which is Mandarin, he should be the villain. But sometimes they should choose for the Mandarin Mandarin because all of those terrorists happened. That flame-throwing guy Mandarin wanted to take out Iron Man 3. It's a good villain, but I might say weird plot twists. I mean, like, I didn't even like the plot twist in this movie because it considered problems for that. But I find this movie is enjoyable because this movie has some great scenes, great acting, boring lines, boring acting and scenes in this movie, and to be honest, all of these happens while still in these verification for all of these Iron Man, because Iron Man 3 was like a lack film of 2013. Because what I'd rather say, because of Iron Man 3, it does connection for Tony Stark and Pepper Potts because they wanted to search both because Tony Stark get lost. So everybody that know that Tony Stark get lost because the Mandarin was attacking him. He tried to attack him, but after that he just found out the Mandarin was the other guy in it. So let me explain about the end of this movie. At the end of this movie, it was probably my favorite part because the final scenes is where all of those suits and Tony Stark suits and Iron Man suits, all of them are coming to Mandarin. That is one of my favorite scenes, especially for the Iron Patriot part. That is my favorite scenes. But to be honest, it doesn't feel like the MCU connection. It feels a bit more like, it still looks like an MCU connection, but it is more like a boring lot of MCU connection because all of that it's a great Easter eggs. There's some great Easter eggs, especially for the post-credit scenes, is where he featured Hulk as Mark Ruffalo, Bruce Banner, and other than that, I wanted to find out. I really wanted to see more action scenes in this movie, but I really liked it when I was like a kid. I think like 10 years old. I was at 10 years old when I watched that movie. It's still awesome though, but to be fair, I wish this movie has a lot more actions. I wish that movie has a lot of great context and intense and action flawless movies, but it doesn't connect it because it feels like a boring lack of movie. And I think it's better than Incredible Hulk and Thor: The Dark World is two of my least MCU films, but I might say this is still good, but not great. I think I'd rather watch Iron Man 2 than this, just because this is a kind of positive film. Because either than that, great Easter eggs, but actors are still very good at this movie. And I know I'm kind of like slow in this movie review because I feel like intense. So Iron Man 3 is a lag movie. I'm gonna give Iron Man 3 kind of like an 0 8.0 out of 10. I but I should say 8 out of 10. But I should say Iron Man 3 get it 8 out of 10. So that's all guys. What are you guys' thoughts on Iron Man 3? Is it good, bad, or mediocre, or do you just think it's terrible? So let me know in the comments, and I might have some news for you. But I heard about the Oscar nominations, and here are my thoughts on it. I thought the Oscar nominations for some of the nominations like visual effects and film editing, I like these because there's some future movies that I watched. But for some case, for leading man, for meaning male and female actress, I found that it's boring and disappointing because none of these actors I know, except I know them, but not the movie, because it felt disappointing actually. I mean, like, last year is way better. I mean, like, Emma Stone makes sense. Like, I don't know, Ryan Gosling makes sense, but even though he's in this movie, because everything in this movie is like lack. But it's still better than Golden Globes because Golden Globes has some boring movies, except for something like Greatest Showman. I love the Greatest Showman. I'm glad. But the original score actor, I think I wish that This Is Me is gonna win. So guys, what are your thoughts on Oscar nominations? Let me know in the comments. I'll see you guys next time. And there's no gonna be Thor: The Dark World review because I already reviewed it.